Well, let's get started with today's class. We will move on to see other special quadrilaterals. We had seen the different types of parallelogram in the previous class. They were rectangle, square, and the rhombus. We saw the properties of uh, rectangle, rhombus, and square. In today's class, we are going to discuss three more, but they are special quadrilaterals. They are not the parallelograms. Okay, the three more types that we will be seeing today are the trapezoid, okay, and the other one is dart and kite. Okay, kite and a dart. Let's see what are the formal definitions for each of them. Okay, trapezoid, occasionally also called as trapezium in British or Canadian English, is a quadrilateral that has exactly one pair of parallel sides. Okay, it has only one pair of parallel sides. The parallel sides are the bases, the non-parallel sides are called as the legs. Okay, the parallel sides are the bases. So how does our trapezium look? So you have these two as the parallel sides and they are called as the bases. And these two which are not parallel are called as the legs. Okay, the parallel sides are the bases, the non-parallel sides are the legs. The trapezoid with congruent legs is the isosceles trapezoid. Imagine if I were to have this particular leg congruent to this particular leg, then it is an isosceles trapezoid. But there are possibility that you may have a trapezoid where it is not isosceles. For example, this is also a trapezoid with parallel bases and non-parallel legs where legs are not equal. So this is also a trapezoid, this is also trapezoid. But this is a isosceles trapezoid because here legs are congruent. The mid segment of the trapezoid is a segment connecting the midpoints of the legs. So if I were to have a mid segment, the mid segment of the trapezoid is nothing but it's a line which connects the midpoint of the legs. If this is the midpoint of this particular leg, then this is the midpoint of this particular leg. So let me label them to make it. If E were midpoint of AB and F was the midpoint of CD, then EF is called as the mid segment. It's consistent with the mid segment definitions that you have seen across triangles and as well as the parallelograms. Okay, in case you are noting down, I'll just give you 30 to 40 seconds. I'll be posting the video after the class, so you can also take a look there. Okay, let's see the next definition, that is of kite, and then we will see about that. A kite is a convex quadrilateral that has two congruent sides but no pairs of opposite congruent sides. Okay, a kite has two pairs of consecutive congruent sides but no pairs of opposite congruent sides. What does that mean? A kite is of this particular form. So where you have side AB is congruent to AD and BC is congruent to CD. See, what does that definition says? Two pairs of consecutive congruent side, not the opposite. Consecutive. So these are the consecutive. In case of the uh, rectangle, we had the opposite sides to be congruent. Here we have consecutive sides to be congruent. Consecutive sides, two pairs of consecutive sides are congruent, but no pairs of opposite congruent sides. Okay, that's your kite. Kite is which has two pairs of consecutive congruent side, but no pairs of opposite congruent sides. Then the next one is a definition of a dart. A dart is a concave quadrilateral that has two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. Okay, a dart is a concave quadrilateral that has two pairs of consecutive congruent sides. If I were to just shift it in this manner, this is nothing but a dart. Like if I were to have, so I have this pair which is congruent. I have not drawn it correctly. And if I were to have something like this, this is concave, and these two, if these two sides are congruent, like if I were to have AB is congruent to BC and AD is congruent to CD, then this becomes a concave quadrilateral. Okay, I'll redraw this. Okay, looks something like this. Okay, this is how your concave quadrilateral or the dart will look. Okay, in case you are noting down, I'll give another 20 to 30 seconds, then we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. We will see few theorems on trapezoid theorems. If a trapezoid is isosceles, then each pair of base angles is congruent. What does that mean? If trapezoid is isosceles, what is the isosceles trapezoid? Isosceles trapezoid is one which has bases as parallel and the legs as congruent. So these two sides are congruent. That is, AB is congruent to CD. Okay, if I have AB is congruent to CD, they are saying that by theorem, angle B is congruent to angle D. This is first pair of base angle, and same way angle A is congruent to angle C. Okay, angle A is congruent to angle C and angle B is congruent to angle D. That's what this particular theorem states. If a trapezoid is isosceles, then each pair of base angles is congruent. Let's see one more theorem. If a trapezoid has one pair of congruent base angle, then the trapezoid is isosceles. If it just has one pair of base angles congruent, if I just have only just one pair, if this is congruent to this, or either this is either the one that is given in blue or red is given, either the blue or red, if either one of the pairs are given, either one of these pairs are given, then we can say that the parallelogram ABCD itself is a isosceles. In case you are noting down, please note down. If either angle A is congruent to angle B, both the pairs are not required. Just one pair is good enough to say that they are isosceles. Or angle C is congruent to angle D. Okay. I'll just give 30 seconds for you all to note on the first two theorems, then we will move on to the third theorem of trapezoid. Okay, let's see the next theorem. Trapezoid is isosceles if and only if the diagonals are congruent. There is one more theorem which says that if I have the diagonals to be congruent, then I can say that the trapezoid is isosceles. That is, if I have diagonals to be congruent, that is AC is congruent to BD. If and only if AC is congruent to BD, then ABCD is isosceles trapezoid. The next theorem, the mid segment of the trapezoid is parallel to the bases and its length is the average of the length of the bases. This is very important theorem. We will use this more often in today's class. So if I have a trapezoid and I have a mid segment which connects the midpoints of AB and CD, okay, if I have a mid segment E, that is the midpoint of AB, and F, that is midpoint of CD, and EF is the mid segment, then it's going to be parallel to AD. EF is going to be parallel to AD and BC, and apart from that, EF is going to be average of the sum of the lengths of AD and BC. AD plus BC divided by 2 will give us the length of EF. Okay, I will give you another 20 to 30 seconds to note down this, and then we will move on to the next slide. Okay, before we see problems based on trapezoid, let's see theorems based on kite and dart. The diagonals of the kite are perpendicular to each other. Okay, this is the theorem for kite. So kite, first theorem for kite, which says that the diagonals of the kites are perpendicular. So if I were to have these diagonals, they will be perpendicular. AC is perpendicular to BD. And same way, even in case of dart, it will be perpendicular, but the point of intersection will be outside the dart. So for dart, see here the diagonals of dart that falls outside of the dart is perpendicular to an extension of the diagonal that falls inside of the dart. So for example, if I were to have this particular diagonal, and this is the actual diagonals, but if I were to extend the diagonal AD to E, if I were to extend AD to E, then AE is perpendicular to BC. Note down these two that we will see next theorem in another 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, let's see the next theorem. If a quadrilateral is a dart or a kite, then exactly one pair of opposite angles are congruent. In case of dart or a kite, only one pair of opposite angles are congruent. See, they are mentioning opposite angles. Only one pair of opposite angles are congruent. This can't be congruent to this particular. Okay, these two are different, so they can't be congruent. In case of dart, the one that you see over here, these two will be congruent. Okay, same way in case of kite, these two can't be congruent, but these two will be. Okay. Just note down another 20 to 30 seconds, then we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, I want you all to use chat and tell me what types of quadrilateral have perpendicular diagonals. I want you to answer these questions. I don't want you to extend it to other quadrilaterals. As of now, just stick out to these three first. First tell me of amongst these three, kites, trapezoid, and as well as the dart. Of them, you just have to tell me first, second and third. Label first, second, third and answer. I'll give you exactly 30 to 40 seconds, then we will go over the solution. Let's go over the solution. What type of quadrilaterals have perpendicular diagonals? We saw that in case of kite, yes, they will be, and even in case of dart, when we extend, it will be. Okay, so kite and dart are correct here. Then what type of quadrilaterals have congruent diagonals? Not all the trapezoid, it should be only isosceles trapezoid, otherwise they will not be. Only isosceles trapezoid, where the legs of the trapezoids are congruent, that's where you'll have congruent diagonals. What types of quadrilateral have one line of symmetry? the one line of symmetry uh, for kite, then even for dart, and not all the trapezoid, only isosceles trapezoid and isosceles trapezoid. Okay, all of you try to answer fourth and fifth once again. I'll give you another 30 seconds. Okay, let's try to draw and check for two lines of symmetry. Let's draw isosceles trapezoid and see if we can get two lines of symmetry. Actually, if I were to take this particular line across this, these two are symmetric. Similarly, let's try for this. No, I can't get symmetry. And if it's not symmetrical across the line which I drew just now, let me draw it blue. Okay, so isosceles trapezoid can't be the answer. Let's try once again across like this. Will it be symmetric like this? No. Same way if I cross the diagonals? No. So two lines of symmetry if you take kite, dart or trapezoid, no. But if you have other quadrilaterals, yes, there you will be able to find lines of symmetry. Like if you were to take a rectangle, right? If I were to take a rectangle, let's try with rectangle. You can find two lines of symmetry. If I were to take rectangle, this is one line of symmetry and this is the other line of symmetry. Both are mirror images of one another. So rectangle is an example. Try to see if there are others apart from that. I just gave one example. Same way, more than two lines of symmetry, as Kiran pointed out, square will work. Okay, but we were discussing only kite, dart and trapezoid. If we consider kite, dart and trapezoid, then that will be the answer. Okay, but in general, any quadrilaterals you can get some more answers. Okay, just check about other parallelograms, check for rhombus. I want you all to check later on how many lines of symmetry will rhombus have and how many lines of symmetry even the uh, we saw rhombus parallelogram in the previous class, right? So just check those at rectangle and square. Rectangle, square we have written here, so just check for them how many lines of symmetry those two will have. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, I'll do the few problems here that give you a chance to work. I'll do one each. Okay, I'll do the problems on the left. I want you to work problems on the right. Find measure of angle FG, measure of angle F, measure of angle G, and measure of angle H. Let's do the first one. Okay, trapezoid properties. Just recollect the properties. What do they say about the isosceles trapezoid? They say that isosceles trapezoid will have the congruent angles. So which means base angles are congruent, which means angle measure of angle H automatically becomes 110 degrees. And these two also will be congruent. Okay, let me call this value as x and x. And sum of angles in trapezoid should be equal to 360 degrees. So I can say 2x plus 110 plus 110 equals 360. So further simplify this, subtract 220 from both the sides because 110 plus 110 is 220. So 360 minus 220 will give us 140. And dividing by 2 I get x equals 70. So both these of measure of angle F and measure of angle G will be 70 degrees. Okay. All of you use your chat and say me tell me the answer for measure of angle F over here, measure of angle G and measure of angle H. Okay. I'll give you 30 seconds because we have to move on to the next. So you try to just give me answers for this. We will see next one real quick. Okay, I see answers from Kira and as well as Yuki. Both of them say that f is 68. Okay, let's check the solution. Same way as this particular problem, angle J and angle F will be congruent, and angle G and angle H will be congruent. This time I'll call this as X and this will become automatically 68 degrees. So angle F I got 68 degrees. And angle G and angle H I'm calling it as X. So X plus 68 plus 68 equals 360 degrees. Okay, 68 times 2 is nothing but 136, and if I subtract 136 from both sides I will have 224, and so I can say 2x equals 224, and if I divide by 2 on both sides I'll have x equals 112. So which means these two are 112 degrees, which your friends had got just now. Okay, so these two are 112, angle G and angle H. Let's see the next one. Find the length of mid-segment of the trapezoid. We had seen the definition for length of the mid-segment of the trapezoid is the averages of the bases. So which means MN, it's not just isosceles trapezoid this theorem works, it works for any theorem. The mid-segment is going to be the average of the bases. It's half of the bases were 21 and 70. So 21 plus 17 gives me 38, and dividing by 2 I get 19. So Mn, the mid segment here is 19 units. Okay, same way all of you try this particular problem and tell me the value of Mn via chat. I'll give you another 20 seconds. We have to take the averages of the bases. The bases are 82 units and 64 units. So 82 plus 64. If I do 82 plus 64, I will have 146, and dividing by 2 I get 73. This is from our mid-segment trapezoid theorem. So let's see the next slide. Find the missing angles in each kite. Okay, missing angles in each kite. I will just do problems here. First one, and then I'll give you chance to work on the other. So here we studied that in case of kite and dart, there will be one pair of congruent angles. So this angle is congruent to this angle. Okay, but not these two. These two are different. Okay, these two angles J and L will not be congruent to any of them. If this is 88 degrees, this also will be 88 degrees. And sum of angles in quadrilateral is 360. I can find the missing angle J here is going to be 360 minus 88 minus 88 minus 120. If I do this, I'll get the missing angle J, which is nothing but 360 minus 64 degrees. Measure of angle J is 64 degrees. Okay, same way I want you all to tell me the measure of angle M and measure of angle K via chat. Real quick. We'll give you 30 seconds here once again. Okay, answers are right. Let's check the solution once again. It's going to be same. In case of kite, we know one pair is congruent, which are M and K are congruent this time, and these two are angle J and angle L are not congruent. So let me call these as X and X. So I'll have X plus X, 2X plus 50 plus 60 equals 360. Subtracting 50 and 60 from both sides, I'll get 2x equals 250. And dividing by 2 on both sides, I get x equals 125. So I can say measure of angle M equals 125 degrees, and measure of angle K is also equal to 125 degrees. Okay, I hope that is clear. Let's see the next one. Find the side lengths of the kite. Okay, they are asking us to find the side lengths of the kite. Let me do this particular problem. We know that the in case of the kite, their diagonals will meet in a manner such that they are perpendicular. So I can find this using Pythagorean theorem. SV here, SV is congruent to ST, and I have VU congruent to UT. So I just have to find using Pythagorean theorem SV. SV is nothing but square root of 8 square plus 9 square. And same way using Pythagorean theorem I have VU, which is going to be square root of 7 square plus 9 square. If I substitute that in calculator, 8 square plus 9 square and taking square root will give me 12.042. I am rounding to third decimal, so I get 12.042. And in case of finding VU, if I take 7 square plus 9 square and its square root, I will have VU as 11.402. Okay, this is how we can find the lengths of the side lengths of the kite. So here SV or ST, all these are same, SV and ST, and same way here VU and UT are same. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. You cut out a piece of fabric in the shape of a kite so that the congruent angles of the kite each are 100 degrees. Of the remaining two angles, one is 4 times larger than the other. What is the measure of each of the angles in the kite? Okay, I'll just draw the figure and I want you to get the solution. Okay, they are saying that if I have a piece of fabric that is cut in shape of a kite, they are saying the congruent angles, let me say the congruent angles are over here, which are 110, and they are asking us these values. Okay, they are not congruent, but I know that the measure of one is 4 times larger than the other. If this is x, this will be the smaller angle, and I can make out this is the larger angle. This is 4x, and you are going to find the angle. Okay, I'll give you exactly 30 seconds. Find the angle A and C, and then we will solve for the rest of the class. I don't know how you all went making error here. It was quite simple. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D, all three will add to 360. If I do 4x plus 110 plus x, oh, it's 100, then it should be correct, guys. I was taking it as 100, so if it is 100, then it's correct. I wrote it down here wrong, so let's take it as 100, because that's how everyone has to 32. That's correct then. So you'll have 4x plus 100 plus x plus 100 equals 360, and 4x plus x is 5x, 100 plus 100 is 200, and you'll have 360. Subtracting 200 from both sides, I'll have 5x equals 160, and dividing by 5 on both sides, I get x equals 32, which all of you had, and then 4x is going to be 32 times 4, which is nothing but 128. Okay, so angle A equals 128 degrees and angle C equals 32 degrees. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Identify quadrilateral diagrams. Identify each quadrilateral diagrams are not even close to the scale. Don't go by the figure, just see the measurements and tell what kind of parallelograms or quadrilateral they are. So I'm just going to label this as Write the number and across which you are going to tell the solution. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we will go over solution exactly in 2 minutes. Okay, from just if you want the more just simplest answer for the first one will be rhombus based on definition, but even square will satisfy this property. Okay, even the square will satisfy because equilateral equilateral quadrilateral is nothing but rhombus, and this can also be your square. Square will also have all the four sides congruent. Same way here, equiangular is the best answer will be rectangle, but in case you want to tell, even it's possible in case of the square. Okay, the third one, the more accurate answer will be parallelogram, but others also will satisfy this, like square satisfies and even rectangle satisfies this. Square also satisfies this and even rectangle satisfies this. Fourth one, you have opposite side congruent and parallel. Okay, so I have already been given, if I were to draw this figure literally it will just look like this. Okay, they are parallel and this, and if I were to match this, it's like just dropping a perpendicular. The more accurate answer here, you can say trapezoid as well as rectangle, but I will consider rectangle, and trapezoid is also correct. Okay, fifth one, you have the congruent diagonals. Congruent diagonals exist in case of uh, diagonals bisect each other. Okay, it's not that the congruent diagonals. Here, this is a congruent. All the diagonals bisect each other, and they are congruent. Here, diagonals just bisect each other. We had seen the properties that diagonals bisect each other in case of uh, even in case of rectangle, they will bisect each other, and even in case of trapezoid, also they will bisect. Okay, equiangular quadrilateral, once again same as the second one. You can better say rectangle, or you can also include square. So here once again the seventh one, it will bisect each other and they are congruent. The most accurate here will be square. Square will satisfy this. The diagonals will bisect each other and they are congruent. And if you want to say isosceles trapezoid, you can just think if the isosceles trapezoid also will satisfy this. Then on this one it's kite or a dart. Opposite angles are congruent. Okay. You can utilize the rest of the class time to work asynchronously on these problems. I will have a link for you all to submit this particular homework. Okay, I haven't posted review yet, but I'll be posting the review by next class period. But I plan on having a take-home quiz. Take-home quiz will be posted soon, and I may give you like 3 to 4 days to take. This time the quiz will be take-home, so I may post it like tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. So you can just check your hub at that time, and you can complete it over the long weekend or after, but it won't be due immediately after long weekend. You will have some more time, like at least one day after the long weekend, to turn in the quiz. Okay, so there will be a take home quiz and this homework. Okay, you have rest of the class time to work asynchronously on this.